All right, so when we were younger, we always did impressions of kung fu theater, action theater, Bruce Lee movies, and karate movies, and kung fu movies, and samurai movies. So I had a few friends. I think one of them has passed away. And we would sit around when we were younger, and we would cut school, and we would hang out in a shed somewhere, and that's what or the shack. Sorry, we called it the shack, but it was a shed. It was the shack. So it was a shed that was cleaned out where we could hang out, smoke cigarettes, and drink beer, and not go to school. I'm sure everybody's got their own little thing. So we were all like kung fu, karate theater, Bruce Lee, and Green Hornet, all that kind of 70s stuff. And we would sit around and we would smoke weed and get high and whatever the case may be, and then we would just start goofing off all the time. So I just asked Ant, what is his best kung fu or karate or impression, right? Do you have one? Because you've been watching it a lot.
Impression?
Yeah, like, what's your impression of...
No.
Yeah, do it. So do it. It's
Yeah.
So we watched so much of it that they dubbed over the Chinese voice, and then it had it in American. I'm like, and their lips would be like, and I'm like, my kung fu is better than your karate, and my and then they would just like say their words, and then their mouth would still be moving like. So that's what we would do. We would sit around and we'd give our best karate and kung fu impressions, and we were like, and the flying chop, and the praying mantis, and why'd you kill my sister? And Master would be like a 3-second long lip sync with no words coming out of it. And ha ya hua ya.
See, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
You gotta do that.
And then the flying guillotine was another one where they threw this hat over their heads, and then we would throw hats at each other, like pretending they were. Then we would yank them, and then their head would come right off. And then Scott was, I don't know if you remember Scott Bennett. He was the best at. He like, my kung fu is better than all of China. And he would had the head movements, and it was just some fun shit. But Anthony doesn't have any. April's got a little bit. And then they had the drunken master and the drunken monkey and the 9 fingers of death, and one of my favorite ones was one dude was like making his skin where they couldn't use knives on him or anything like that, but he could be pierced like with a spear or something like that, so he could be stabbed through but he couldn't be cut with a knife. And how they conditioned his skin was they kept putting him through hot rice on his arms, and then his arms like they were like his shields. Like I watched a lot kung fu theater, and then Kane, I forget what that one was. Bruce Lee was actually supposed to star in that movie, and then there was like this big stink about him losing it to a white guy. Yeah. And then it was just some good shit. So what's your best kung fu, karate, Chinese impression? And you know what I'm talking about.